Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Amber Rose, also known as the Religious Hippie. You can basically follow me on any social media platform, or you can go straight to my website at thereligioushippie.com. So today is November 1st, which means we are celebrating All Saints Day. Remember that today is a holy day of obligation, so make sure you get your butt to church. Get your butt in a pew, guys. So last week we talked about All Hallows Eve, and I did that live stream with Joe Heschmeyer, who is fantastic at explaining the truth behind Halloween, so I highly suggest you guys go back and listen and watch those videos, because honestly, we all need to know the truth about Halloween and All Hallows Eve, where it comes from, that it's not pagan, etc. So I've linked those in the description below. But since it's officially All Saints Day, that's what we're talking about today. So grab your iced coffee. All right, I'm all out of iced coffee. Grab your water bottle and let's get started. Hydrate or dihydrate, am I right? So yesterday was All Hallows Eve, and we spent that day preparing for All Saints Day, which is today. So All Hallows Eve is the vigil for All Saints Day. Of course, like I said, I did videos on that, and Joe Heschmeyer and I did a whole segment on that, so you guys can go back and listen to that. But today is specifically for celebrating all the saints in heaven. According to Pope Urban IV, it is a feast day to make up for any saints' feast days that we missed during the year. So if there is an unknown saints feast day that happened but we're not made aware, this feast day is meant to make up for any feast days that were missed. In case you guys kind of needed a refresher on what a saint is anyone who has attained heaven. And while the church has specific saints that we recognize and have been canonized, which means they are a saint, which means we know indefinitely that they are in heaven, there are millions, probably billions of people who are in heaven who we just don't know about because we just don't know anything about them. There's no information on their life, or maybe, they died a martyr. We didn't know their state in life. So there are millions, billions, quadrillion, if that is a word. I'm not a math person, I don't know. But there are so many saints in heaven that we don't know about, and this feast day is great to acknowledge them and to know that, yes, we do know you're in heaven, although we don't know you specifically, but this is for all the saints in heaven. So this day is a perfect day to ask for your saint's intercession in your life and for just the saints in general. Maybe there is a saint who has been stalking you for a while. For those who don't know, yes, saints do stalk people who they want to be friends with. Saint Therese of Lisieux is known to leave roses places. Saint Francis of Assisi, in my life at least, I have always been given or had stray animals just come to me, and I've noticed that I'm like, okay, Saint Francis, I see, I understand what you're doing here, okay. And that's one of the reasons why Saint Francis and I have always been super tight. But anyways, the point is that All Saints Day is a great time to get to know different saints, some that maybe you're not familiar with, and to become friends with them. If you guys made it this far into the episode, comment saint. There are a lot of different ways that people around the world like to celebrate All Saints Day. The most common is obviously going to Mass, because like I said, it is a holy day of obligation. We are under obligation to go to Mass. And then of course, lighting candles in front of saint statues or prayer cards or whatever you have, asking for their intercession. All of those are great ways of spending All Saints Day. I also highly suggest reading about the lives of the saints, and I have a book here which is from Tan Books, and you guys know I do have an affiliate link with them, so if you guys want anything from Tan Books, you guys can use my promo code AMBER15. I put the affiliate link in the description below if you guys want that as well. It does help the ministry, so I do appreciate it, and you guys get a discount. But obviously don't feel like you have to use my affiliate link. I just want you guys to have good books, So anyways, this is one of probably the best books I have personally read regarding the lives of the saints. And there's actually a little tidbit in here that I came across that I wanted to read to you guys. So basically it's lives of the saints for every day in the year. So every day they have a saint that you can get to know. And it's really easy to read. It's a very small blurb about the saint, but I have learned so much about the saints using this book. So I highly, highly suggest that you guys utilize this book and that you guys read it as well. But because today is November 1st, they do have a little blurb in here for All Saints Day. And I wanted to read that to you guys. The church pays day by day a special veneration to some one of the holy men and women who have helped to establish it by their blood, develop it by their labors, or edify it by their virtues. But in addition to those whom the church honors by special designation, or has inscribed in her calendar, how many martyrs are there whose names are not recorded? How many humble virgins and holy penitents, or young children snatched away in their innocence? How many Christians who have died in grace, whose merits are known only to God, and who are themselves known only in heaven? Now, should we forget those who remember us in their intercessions? Besides, are they not our brethren, our ancestors, friends, and fellow Christians with whom we have lived in daily companionship? In other words, our family? Yeah, it is one family. I like the yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it is one family. And our place is marked out in this home of eternal light and eternal love. And then, of course, there's a little reflection at the end. Let us have a solitude to render ourselves worthy of that chaste generation, so beautiful amid the glory where it dwells. So I highly suggest that book, and there are plenty of other books on the saints. So there's this one by Kimberly Begg called Unbreakable Saints Who Inspired Saints to Moral Courage. And it says, in the battle for our children's souls, Catholic parents have a key advantage over the world. Our families are destined for heaven. God willed us to exist now in a world that celebrates sin as virtue and punishes Christians as haters as part of his saving plan. In his abundant generosity, he confers on all his children the power to know, love, and serve him, but his plan requires our participation. To spend eternity with him in heaven, we must answer his call. Unbreakable is a resource designed to help Catholic parents raise children who are strong enough to resist the soul-endangering temptations to get along with and get ahead in the world, recognizing that what occupies our children's imagination is one of profound importance. This book tells the stories of 4 of the Church's most courageous saints, and the 10 saints who inspired them during their lives, including St. Michael the Archangel, St. Juan Diego, St. Maximilian Kolbe, and St. Therese of Lisieux, among others. Written for modern parents, Unbreakable continues a long tradition of helping families build a Christ-centered culture in their home that can be passed on for generations. There's another one called An Easy Way to Become a Saint by Father Paul O'Sullivan, and the little blurb for that is, while attaining sanctity is the most important thing in the world for ourselves and for others, because everyone benefits from one's personal sanctification, sanctity needs not be seen as the hardest thing in the world. It is always the greatest challenge, but nothing extraordinary is required of us. In fact, the perfection of the ordinary is precisely where God calls most of us to grow. Whoever is faithful in the least thing also will be faithful in greater things. Luke 16:10. Thus, in An Easy Way to Become a Saint, mainstay author Father Paul O'Sullivan offers an optimistic book showing how any ordinary Catholic can become holy and supremely so. Every day there are innumerable opportunities to become holier, hidden for us to find. Father O'Sullivan shows us how writing with an assurance of success that is totally convincing and infectious. So that's also a great book to read if you are interested. But in general, reading about your patron saint, asking for their intercession, all of those things are going to be really helpful today. Actually, you can even have an All Saints Day party. I know most of the time they do the All Saints Day party on All Hallows Eve, so the kids can dress up in their saint costume and, kind of like have a Halloween party, but it's for the vigil of All Saints Day. So it's like different, you know what I mean. But you can still have it on All Saints Day as well. You guys could have a bonfire and read stories of the saints around the campfire. Some of them are genuinely a little bit traumatizing and scary, so it might be perfect for spooky season. Another great way you can celebrate All Saints Day is by making treats that are associated with the saints. So for example, I'm named after St. Ambrose, and because he is associated with bees and things like that, there is a recipe that's associated, I think it's called like Cooking with the Saints or something, but it's called beehive buns, and they're like these honey pastry kind of treats. It's really cute, and there's plenty of treats and foods and stuff that are associated with the saints that you could make, but there are a lot of things you can do with that, so be creative. In France, I believe they celebrate by going to their family's graves and actually leaving mums, the flower, right? Because the mums are a sign of remembering eternal life and the hope of the resurrection. So that's kind of cool. And I mean, mums are really popular these days. You guys see them like everywhere outside because they're a very popular fall flower. So maybe do that. When I was a kid, we often dressed up as saints. I think my sister went as Saint Rose of Lima one year. I was Our Lady one year. And we would just go to our homeschool group. There would be skits about different saints that we would be able to learn about. And sometimes there were puppet shows. We would do trunk or treats at times, but often more than not, we would go just trick-or-treating around our town because that was easier. Also, I think trunk or treats kind of like cheapen the experience of Halloween, personally. And I think every kid should experience going trick-or-treating at least once in their life. But anyways, we would read stories about the saints, and we would get together with friends, and we would make pastries or drinks that were associated with the saints. And it was just a really, really fun time overall. There were skits and plays, and we all had a good time. In general, though, there are a lot of different ways you can celebrate All Saints Day, and I would love to know how you guys celebrate All Saints Day in the comments below. With all of that being said, I am praying for you guys. I hope you guys have a blessed All Saints Day. I'll talk to you later. Bye!